Hi and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave and this is episode 1358A, and today's date is August 18th, 2017, and the title of the episode is The Economic System is Breaking Down One Sector at a Time. Now, before I get started, I have two announcements. There was no report on Thursday because my site, both of my sites, X22Report.com and NewSentinel.com, they were being heavily attacked. They were brought down, and they were down for quite a while. I was able to bring X22Report.com back up. I was able to fix it. New Sentinel, that was damaged a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to redesign that site since it's down anyhow, and I needed to make it fixes anyhow. So that site is going to be coming up in a couple of days. And my second announcement is that I uploaded an interview with London Paul on X22 Report Spotlight YouTube channel. So you can go over there and you can see and listen to the interview. You can also go to my site, X22Report.com site, scroll down a little bit, you'll see it on the right hand side. Or you can go to Steam It, it is on there, and you can watch the video there. Let's get into the economic collapse financial news. Now, what's very interesting is that as we're looking at the economy, we're following the economy, we've been reporting on the economy, we've been noticing that each economic sector is declining at its own pace, and some sectors are a lot worse than others. But what's very interesting is that most of them, I would say the majority of them, they are declining. Now, we know that the manufacturing industry, the automobile industry, has been pumped up. We know how they've been doing it. We realize what they've been doing. We know that to sell their automobiles, they're giving a huge amount of incentives. They're bringing in the subprime of subprime people, just trying to push the cars off the lot. And what's very interesting about all this, Equifax chief economist Amy Cruz-Cutts, well, she pointed out that in 2016 and 2017, vintage deals are mysteriously performing more like 2007 securitizations than those underwritten in 2010. And what she said is we're seeing an increase in delinquencies across all credit scores, but in the highest credit quality is just a basis point or two. In deep subprime, the rise is more substantial. What stood out to me was the issuers. Those that have been doing this for a decade or more were showing the better performance, while those that were relative newcomers were in the worst category. And what we're seeing is that these automobile deals, these incentives, they are pushing it towards the people with subprime. So if we look at April 2017 pricing on new vehicles, they include around $1,500 in finance rebates that have a certain credit requirement, and you have to have a certain score to claim this rebate. When looking at this, and this is mostly American manufactured automobiles, they're saying that the finance office is credit score based, and you must be below 620 to qualify. If you are over 620, you must add up to $1,500 to the price. So what they're saying is if you have a credit score under 620, they're going to take $1,500 off. And if you're above 620, well, you have to add $1,500 to the price. And I mean, this varies between make and model. But what they're doing right now is they're bringing in subprime people, and they're trying to push the automobiles by giving them an incentive, because they realize the people with the good credit, well, they're running out of those people. They need to bring those people in who might not have great credit or scores under 620 because they're running out of people. Now, think about this for a second. This lender is actually trying to attract borrowers with lower credit scores rather than higher credit scores. So they're trying to sell a $55,000 vehicle to those individuals in the subprime category, which is unbelievable because what we're seeing is basically what we saw back in the housing market before 2008. Now, industrial production, well, this is continually dropping. U.S. manufacturing production is dropping right now. Now, they expected manufacturing to rise by 0.4%, but it only came in at 0.2% in July, which completely missed expectations. And manufacturing production actually shrank by negative 0.1%. Now, the biggest driver of the decline was a 3.6% slump in motor vehicle production. And we can see right now the stock market, even though it's been down for the last couple of days, is continually moving up, while industrial production, manufacturing, is declining at the same time. But it doesn't really matter because we know the stock market is completely manipulated. And what we're seeing right now is when we look at all these different economic sectors, like retail, for instance, we see that this is having major problems. A lot of stores closing, a lot of people losing their jobs, and it's not going to online sales. Because remember, most of these corporations, they all have an online presence. It's not like, oh, we have a brick and mortar store and we don't have an online presence. Actually, the brick and mortar stores, they have a little bit of an edge because you can order something online and actually drive over and pick it up the same day, instead of waiting for the next day or 2 days to receive it in the mail. So it's not online sales. What is happening is the people around the country who are losing their jobs, who've never recovered, and those people who are just coming into the mix, they don't have the funds because we know that wages, salaries, they are declining. And this is continuing. We're going to see each economic sector continually decline as we move throughout this year. There is no stopping it. I know Trump is out there and he's saying that all these jobs are coming back. He created 1 million jobs. Again, governments speak. They like to tell you everything that they're doing, but most of it is not true because we've been looking at the economic facts. We've been looking at what has been happening, and we can see that the United States is in a major decline. Actually, the global economy is in a major decline, but of course the illusion where the central bank is pushing free money and everything like that and stimulus, it's making it look like everything is fine. We've seen this before in different companies. We've seen it before in Ponzi schemes. And once again, we have major problems headed our way. For instance, we have the debt ceiling problem. That's coming up. Are they going to raise the debt ceiling? Most likely, yes. Is that going to improve anything? No. They're just going to spend more money. And what's happening here is we've been on this illusionary ride for a very long time. We're coming off the Obama economy where he told us that he's handing this incredible economy off to Trump. Now, Trump could have turned around and said, listen, this economy is a complete disaster. It's an illusion. But I think there'd be panic in the streets. I think the elite, the corporate media, would have been, it's all your fault. You're the one who did it. Obama was giving you this healthy economy. You destroyed it. And I think right now Trump is going along with the ride where he's convincing everyone that, yes, this economy is doing well. In the meantime, and he's not doing a very good job at this, he's trying to bring back manufacturing. He's trying to make deals to set this economy up for the transition. But you can see that there's major problems because basically the corporate media, the elite, the deep state, they want him removed. I mean, it's completely obvious from what is going on here. And what is happening is we are approaching certain deadlines coming up this fall with the budget, with the debt ceiling, with everything else. Congress is going to be coming back in after Labor Day, and we're going to see the fireworks. We're going to see a lot happening during that period of time. And we can see that the corporate media, they are primed and ready to blame everything on Trump, and I don't think they'll have any problem whatsoever when things start to really fall apart. And I think the central bank, I think those who are in power, they are prepared and ready to bring down the system and point the finger towards Trump. And I think this is exactly what's going to happen. We can see that fingers are being pointed at him right now, and the entire country right now is in complete chaos, and the corporate media and everyone else is just keeping this up. This is all building, and this will feed right into the economy. How what he's trying to do with NAFTA and everything else is completely destroying the economy, because we know that McCain and many others are out there saying, hey, do not touch NAFTA. We don't want that touched. And we know this is the elite's bread and butter. This is why they want the TPP. This is why they were pushing for all these trade deals because it makes them a whole lot of money. It doesn't help the everyday person. It doesn't help trade with the United States, because we can see it's completely obvious that most of the jobs have been sent overseas. So we are heading down this path, and I think things are going to really accelerate as we enter the fall months, and as we move into the fall, the winter. It's just going to deteriorate a lot more, and it's not going to improve whatsoever. We've been watching this for quite a while, and every holiday season, every summer season, we can see that real estate deteriorates a little bit more. We can see that retail has been deteriorating quite a bit now. I mean, it's really flashing red signals all over the place. We can see the tax receipts coming into the government. They are dropping every single day. Tax receipts coming into the state level, they are dropping every day, because what is happening here is as people lose their full-time job and as wages continually decline, what happens? People pay less taxes. As people lose their jobs and get part-time jobs or can't find a job, less taxes come into the government. This is what we are seeing right now. This is why under Obama, they created FACTA, GATGA, because they were looking for more tax revenue. This is why they went overseas. And again, there wasn't that much out there. They thought it was going to be a lot more. And what is happening is the tax receipts are continually declining. And as more and more people lose jobs in retail, more people lose jobs in corporations, because as we can see, the revenues coming into corporations, they are not there. The sales are not there. Earnings, revenue, completely different. They can, shut down plants, lay off people, buy back their stocks, make their earnings look good, but the sales and the revenue, they can't manipulate that part, and that has been the problem all along. Just like the central banks cannot manipulate people into going out and spending their money. It's just completely impossible. This is why they're talking about helicopter money. This is why they're telling you, hey, why don't you take an equity line of credit from your appreciation from your real estate holdings. They're trying to do everything possible to get you out there and spend the money that you really don't have. I mean, if you take an equity line of credit, you're just borrowing money. It's not really yours. It's on paper. And if the real estate market comes down, all those people who took an equity line of credit, they're screwed. They're underwater. But they don't care about that. They want you to take out loans. This is the way their system stays alive. That's why they always report on credit. Ooh, more people are spending money. How do they know this? Because more people are using their credit cards. That doesn't mean people are spending their own money. They're borrowing money to keep the system alive. They're not looking at how much money people actually have and how much they're actually spending, because that money is really not yours. You never had it in the first place. And this is why there's many people out there paying off credit cards, because they continually go out and purchase and purchase and purchase. They reach the max on their credit cards and they can't purchase anymore, and they have to start paying it off. But with the high interest rates, it's very, very difficult. And a lot of the country, I would say the majority of the country, this is the type of shape they're in right now, where they're struggling to stay alive every single day. How long can an economy survive? It can't survive that long on this type of program, on this type of an economy. Eventually what will happen, it will break down, and this is what we're seeing. You see it in small places, like in retail. I mean, that's a sure sign that it's breaking down. When people say, something, I'm just not going to spend the money because I really don't have it anymore. I don't have the job I had before. And you see this on the front lines. The front line is retail, because 70% of our economy is made up of with people spending their funds in retail. So you are seeing the sign that the economy is in trouble. This is the sign. This is the signal to let you know we have major problems. And of course, the corporate media, the central bank, the government, they want to, basically cover this up. Like, no, there's no problem. Don't look over here. Just like we saw signs in 2008. The real estate market started to crash. That was a sign. Something was wrong. Something wrong with the subprime security investments. There was something wrong with that. People are leaving their homes. Why? These are signals. The universe is out there saying, here is the problem. I'm letting you know. Get ready. And this is what we've been seeing. This is the first signal. You're going to see many more. We've been pointing them all out all over the place. And as this thing comes down, it's going to be a complete disaster. This is why you need to be ready and prepared. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.